Good morning, everyone. Now we are left with four principles of Henry Fayol. Let us start with the next four principles of management. In this module, I'll explain you about the principle of centralization and decentralization. Secondly, about the stability of personnel. Third principle explained in this video is the principle of initiative, and last, esprit de corps. So let's begin with centralization and decentralization. Before going deep into detail about this principle of management, we need to understand what is the meaning of centralization. Complete centralization means retaining the decision making powers in the hands of top level management. This is called complete centralization when all the powers of decision making are in the hands of top level management. Complete decentralization means when all the decision making powers are dispersed in the middle and lower level management, and top level management does not keep any authority in its own hand. So in any organization, complete centralization and complete decentralization is not possible. Therefore, there should be a balance between centralization and decentralization. Few important decision making powers should be in the hands of top level management, and rest of the powers, rest of the authorities could be dispersed to the middle and lower level management. So this is the principle of centralization and decentralization. This principle focuses basically on the ratio of centralization and decentralization of decision making authority in an organization, which differs according to the circumstances in which it operates. Superiors should retain the authority of taking important decisions with them, and authority to take decisions of less importance should be delegated to the subordinates, that is middle level management and lower level management. Now, what are the positive effects of maintaining a balance between centralization and decentralization? Quick decision making becomes possible because now the decisions have to be taken by top level management. Economy in operations. Economy in operation means the work, the cost incurred is reduced. And thirdly, adequate operational autonomy, operational freedom could be given to the managers. What are the consequences of violation? Complete centralization may lead to delay in decision making, and complete decentralization may result in misuse of authority. Therefore, neither complete centralization nor complete decentralization should happen. There should be a balance between both. The adverse effect of following this principle may result in confusion and lack of coordination if both of them are used together. So a proper balance should be maintained, and there should be a clarity between the authority responsibility relationships. Next principle is stability of personnel. Personnel means human resources. Stability means they should be given enough time to settle in their jobs. It should not happen that time and again the employees keep on leaving the jobs, and we are in such a situation to appoint the new employees every time and there is no stability. This should not happen. Proper stability should be there, and this could only be possible if during the appointment a rigorous exercise is done, proper people are appointed, and they are given proper training once they are appointed. So this principle suggests minimum employee turnover. Turnover means employees should not keep on leaving their jobs time and again. This will happen to maintain the organizational efficiency and reduction of recruitment and training costs. Secondly, selection and appointment of personnel should be done after rigorous procedure and their retention at the position for at least a minimum fixed period of time. Consequences, positive effects of this principle of management: it provides a feeling of job security among the employees. It leads to improvement in the level of performance and minimization of cost of recruitment, selection and training, because once they are appointed, now they are secure that we will not be taken out of the job if we are not doing any wrong task. And the consequences of violation: if you are not following this principle, it may lead to employee turnover maximum number of times, and there could not be any stability. It may lead to increase in cost of recruitment, selection and training programs. Adverse effect of following this principle of management: it leads to lack of new ideas and initiative to improve the performance. So I hope that you are clear with the principle of stability of tenure of personnel. Next principle is principle of initiative. Initiative means come forward. Encourage your employees that they do not feel shy to communicate their ideas, their suggestions. They come forward to do the work. This principle suggests encouragement of initiative among the employees to develop and carry out improvement plans for the benefit of the organization. Companies should have an employee suggestion system where the initiative to reduce the cost and time should be rewarded. Employees should be encouraged to give their suggestions, give their ideas. They should be given enough of motivation to come forward to do the task and give their ideas so that cost and time and efforts could be reduced. This is the principle of initiative. Give enough encouragement to your employees so that they come forward. Positive effect of this principle, it develops a sense of belongingness among the employees because now they are heard, their suggestions are heard. It increases employee satisfaction also, but the consequences of violation, employees may feel frustrated if they are not heard, if their suggestions are not accepted. Employees do not feel encouraged if they are not consulted in decision making. And the adverse effect is if you give too much emphasis on the initiative by the employees, it may hamper the routine work. Now, last but not the least, we are going to learn about the principle of esprit de corps. Esprit de corps means team spirit. We should encourage team spirit, and the entire work in an organization should be done as a team. This principle given by Fayol suggests promotion of team spirit, unity, harmony among the employees to achieve organizational objectives. Managers to work together towards raising mutual trust and belongingness among the team members. So now the people, they do not work as individual, rather they should work as a team. You all watch the cricket matches. What is happening? Two teams are playing. This is esprit de corps. They are not working for their own benefit. People are not working. Players are not working for individual goals. They have a target set. They need the entire team. They work together to win the match. This is esprit de corps. Positive effects of this principle, it develops mutual trust, harmony among the team members. It helps in achievement of team goals, of the group goals with greater efficiency and effectiveness, and it minimizes the use of penalties and punishment because now the entire team is working together towards the goal of the enterprise. Consequences of violation of this principle, disharmony and conflict may arise among the employees because now they are working together, and there may because they were not working together, if they are not following the principle of esprit de corps, it may lead to difficulty in the achievement of the objective of an enterprise as a whole. I hope that now all the principles of management through different modules, all 14 principles, are clear to you. In the next video, I'll explain you the difference between the theories given by Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor. Thank you all. Have a nice day.